Hey everyone, in this video we're gonna be learning the following typical themes of the Jobava London. How to outplay your opponent from an equal position and get a practical edge. How to play typical endgames arising after the e4 break. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the best way to punish b6 on the first move. Let's go d4. Knight c3. Yeah, I'm not going for the French, not this time. And yeah, I mean, I've had a quick look on this. I know d5 is good. It's not like a big advantage though. It's I think this is maybe playable for black, but I think still should be easier to play as white. I haven't analyzed this. I just put it on the engine and I've seen d5 is good. I haven't gone in more depth. Maybe I should, because this is like second time it gets played against me. So I have to play it with e3. Would have loved to play e4, but his knight was in the way. Maybe just queen d2. Gets d5, could play like c3. Not sure I love my queen on d2, maybe on d1 was better. Could be playing bishop d6 next. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep it simple here. Just castling if bishop d6 we trade. Keeping it very, very simple. We'll just try to say that this pawn on d5 maybe is like a little weak. Even though I think black should have no problems. Maybe throw in the a pawn. Queen d2 was not clever. I think better was just queen d1 honestly, but might end up being the same thing. Maybe for ideas. Also could try to push the pawn. Yeah, could like double up. Ooh, I think that's a good move now. Kind of a positional threat. Could combine it with queen a4. Maybe he has bg4. I think he could have done that, and it's pretty tricky to defend the knight. Maybe I have to play bishop back. But after this, I think maybe we have slightly easier position to play, because 95, 93. Okay, 93 still has bishop f5. Yeah, I mean, ideally we could get the knight to like f4, but maybe starting this way is clever. Kind of hitting the pawn, and I want to play 93 without allowing him to pin me. So this is the main goal. And on rook e6, okay, I mean that's fine, but I felt like the rook was a bit clumsy there. Queen b5, rook b6. I think just queen f4, even though that's knight's place. I think queen is also reasonably placed there. For now, maybe then we can like swap places after 93. Yeah, I like it. Maybe b4 is a good idea, like cb, cb, knight c5. b4 it probably has like b6 though. Yeah, I think the play is just queen f3, knight f4, something like that. Trying to put pressure on d5. I think he's still fine though. Just trying to squeeze something out of nothing here pretty much. Yeah, like b4 may be interesting though, because b6. Perhaps 95, but just rook c8 seems fine. Yeah, before b6, b5, rook c8, and it's just we don't get anything for weakening with b4, so we'll just do the knight f4 maneuver, and then we'll try to double up and slowly improve our position. Plays b6 anyway, so yeah, try to double. I think he can actually even go d4 now, maybe. If he's like really scared about a weak pawn, I think he can break through immediately. Maybe we have cd and d4 there with 93, saying that the knight is a nice blockading piece. I think I'll do that if he plays it. Okay, so if I go there, he wants bishop g4, but there's queen g3, so maybe we can debate him. Yeah, okay, like bishop's kind of loose now. Pawn on d5 kind of hanging. I think that was a mistake. So if you see that your opponent is trying to do something silly, you may want to very well play some kind of slow move. Like that's what I've noticed in Petrosian games, and I think I read this quote while analyzing some book with Petrosian's model games. Like when you notice your opponent has a bad plan, just let him do it. So I think that's like pretty much the strategy that we applied. Now I think just f3, bishop e6 takes, and maybe knight e6. I have to think about it a bit. f3, bishop e6. Oh, by the way, I think I can take twice. Knight e5, queen d, queen g4. That looks kind of drawish though. He's got queen a2. Yeah, that's like a draw. It's a pity we can't go for it immediately. Do we have h4? So like h4, queen f5 kind of only move, and now e4 wins. No, I think we started this way and then f3. f3, bishop h5, and maybe e4 there. I feel like this should be like a win on the spot. We'll just need to find the concrete moves, but this has to be winning. I think we start at f3 because like on queen f5, e4, queen c8 is kind of holding. I mean, not really, but yeah, f3, bishop back, and then e4 feels kind of crushing. He can't take as rook drops, and after e4, well, I think he has to move the queen to like e5. But there should be like a win with ed5, simplest thing. Yeah, bishop there, e4, queen e5. Could actually take and trade both rooks as well. Oh wow, he goes g5. That's like a bit extreme. This can't really work. I think we have hg knight e5 as the simplest. Rook d5 and then e4. Rook d2, f5, rook d1, king h2, bishop f5, queen g5, bishop g6. That's not clear. Like, easiest thing would be just queen g4, takes, pawn takes, and we're up a pawn. I feel like there should be something better, just like knight e5 and rook d5, rook d5, takes, queen g4. He's got like queen a2, but now queen g5. We're up 2 pawns in the queen endgame. It's not like easiest win ever though. Okay, I think I've got a good one. Okay, watch this. So we go e4, rook d2, and then rook d2. And he's got 2 pieces hanging. He has to play queen c8, but then rook d, queen d8, queen g4. And we're up a pawn in the queen endgame, but I think it's a winning one. Has to play queen back, and then actually queen g4 is on queen c8. Yeah, now this is strong. Because like if they take, I have rook d8 and they're kind of paralyzed. And now we win g5. This was like really precise. He had to play queen f6 and we were getting that endgame. Now he's just like running out of time and the position was also losing. But okay, I think that actually turned out to be a pretty instructive game because we managed to win by having no opening advantage. I think that was absolutely 0-0 on the engine. And yeah, I think the computer also seems to agree. We're gonna be having a quick look on this game, but just spoiler alert, we've got a pretty good score. So yeah, I played d5 this time. In like the previous game that we have in the rating climb, I have played e3 and won a very strange game. But after d5, yeah, he took, I think he played normal. Okay, apparently computer suggests e4. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with this idea. Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand it, but I just didn't know that e4 is working, so I assumed it's not. That's why I played with e3. It would have been obviously better to play e4 and white is having big advantage. I just assumed that e4 is not a thing, so I played it with e3 and it's just equal all the time. Yeah, by the way, I think queen d1 was even better. It's kind of same. And yeah, it was equal, but I think it's really interesting to see how you want to be playing this structure as a London system player. Because I think this is a pawn structure that maybe a lot of you may be getting in your own games. Maybe not from the Jobava, but from the normal London system, where black manages to get in this e5 push, and then they pretty much manage to equalize, but you can still yeah, create some play. Let's say this is just an equal game, it's not over yet. So went rook d1, it was always really kind of equal for them. And yeah, here, as I told you, like they were supposed to play bishop g4. I think that was like an easy way to kind of annihilate my play, because looks like best is just to play bishop e2, breaking that pin. And yeah, taking, okay, I mean, if I have to play queen e2, what is my next, I don't know, 10 moves or 5 moves? I don't really see a constructive plan, and this pin is like really annoying. So bishop g4 was good for him if he would have spotted it. But after rook d6, I think we managed to unbalance the structure a bit. Maybe taking with a pawn was better. I thought, well, if he was doing pawn takes, I had an idea of, yeah, as you know, I wanted this. But okay, I mean, the computer simply ignores it and finds this idea to go for the quick attack. Okay, I mean, I understand this is great, but I don't think a lot of your opponents will play it this way. So yeah, like my idea was if we could somehow get to, let's say if they play like a passive move, if we get in b4 and could get into this structure with a knight on c5, this is definitely pleasant, but okay, opponent needs to cooperate a little bit. So rook c6, we went knight e5, and yeah, like knight e3, bishop f5 was just equal with bishop takes, so that's why I came up with this queen a4 move. Idea to play knight e3, knight f4 without allowing the trade, and yeah, like as I was saying, f4 is the square where I wanted my knight to be, but for the time being the queen can stay there as well since it's like pretty active. And knight e3, yeah, I think at this point when I play rook d2, I feel like d4 is playable, trying to kill all the fun, but I was about to take with a c pawn and play e4. I thought this was interesting. With knight d3, and okay, if we manage to like somehow push the f pawn, we could definitely get some play. But apparently computer likes to take and go for this structure where they have to take with the f pawn because of the back ranker. So now on queen a8 there is rook d8 for instance. And okay, I mean, this is playable, but I'm not sure you can realistically beat someone from this position. Even though they have the weak pawn, imagine this is a draw without the pawn. But I think definitely I would have probably taken and played e4, try to get the knight to d3, nice blockading piece, and play that position. They went queen g5, and I went for this move, trying to jabay at my opponent. He can do anything here and is equal, as I don't really have enough pressure to win d5, and it's just an equal game because both sides have no weaknesses. But on bishop g4 it already got very tricky, because he's all of a sudden dealing with like a very unpleasant pin. So notice his plan, jabaited him, and yeah, I've seen e4. I knew this was a move, but I thought, yeah, they can like go queen e5 and... Oh, not queen e5 in this position. There was other line, I calculated this. I honestly thought, I think they could have gone back. f3. Yeah, this was like winning as well. I missed that we have knight h5 motif. Okay, you could do other things as well, but yeah, this should have been good enough. On bishop h5, e4 was about to come, queen e5, and then take on d5 with something, probably with a pawn. And on g5, yeah, there were like many moves to win, but I think this is pretty cute, with the idea to go e4 and then yeah, don't take on f5, because in this position you're actually losing because they have too many pieces. So this is like really bad, but I think just what I did was yeah, they were supposed to play queen f6 as I told you, and playing this endgame. I thought this was winning, but apparently it's a forced draw after queen d2. Yeah, they've got like a lot of play. I haven't seen that during the game, so it would have been perhaps better to play simple move, knight back, and then go e4, take on d5, win the free pawn. Well, this was nice, and now after queen g4 he's like kind of paralyzed, because he would love to trade queens, but then I can take on d8 intermezzo and then capture the queen. And also he can't take my rook because his queen will be now hanging. And in the meantime, this is huge threat. And if they play something like f6, again, trade queens and infiltrate with the rook with, objectively speaking, a winning rook endgame. Alright, that was, I think, kind of nice. We can go for next one. Alright, we're getting the white pieces. Gonna be going for the Jobava. Bishop to f4. We're seeing a6, that's interesting. e3, and is he gonna play b5? Like, that's interesting when they go b5. Then I'm probably gonna go h4. I think that is given in Hans Niemann's course. And like after e6, You could go g4 if you want to play really aggressive, but I like the positional way. And on c5 we just would have played dc. Yeah, okay, now it's even a worse version for him because he wasted the move on playing bishop e7. So he could have gotten into this position by taking in one go on c5. So I'm already, I think, probably slightly better after we get in e4 because we have the extra tempo. And yeah, after the knight takes, bishop takes, all the endgames are like really nice. And if he doesn't take on e4, we could get in e5 and ideas to Greek gift, and he has to like really watch out for that. For example, after castles, could potentially Greek gift. Yeah, the knight takes. Yeah, we're probably gonna get into the endgames. I think we take with the f rook, because probably we're gonna be pushing this pawns and this rook might be useful there. And bishop d7, but now it's hard for him to castle. So I think we should have a pretty large advantage here if I play it accurate enough. Bishop d6 looks tempting, trading the bishops and keeping his king in the center. Like bishop takes, rook takes, king e7, we double up, he plays rook hd8. But then I don't see how to make progress, and bishop e8 is coming and he's fine. So probably just playing with c3 and b4 is good. And yeah, he can't castle, the bishop is hanging. Castling long is also not a good option, I think, because the king is then weak. And after f6, yeah, I think could throw in b4. Could do bishop d6 as well this time, and bishop d6, rook d6, king e7. I think maybe got like an improved version. Still not very convincing though. This is like really nice for white, but 3 is part of the plan, and now maybe like we need to reroute the knight. I think that's pretty strong idea in general. Not sure we're in time with it though. Yeah, that's actually a bit too slow for my taste. Bishop e3 is not a stupid move either. Probably will do b4, a4. That feels the most natural way of pushing this endgame. I think he has to play to e7. Otherwise, we're getting bishop to d6. And yeah, just a4. I think it's just worse because e5 moving away the bishop, and he still can't castle because this guy will drop. Could also go there. Might be even better. And like f5, there's always this move. So yeah, rook c8, but can't we just go b5 and bishop b6? Also ideas to take and bishop f5. Could also do bishop b6. Yeah, like bishop d8, maybe rook d7 is kind of crashing. King d7, bishop f5. King e7, bishop c8, bishop b7, and we're up a pawn. I think that's like easiest. Maybe there are easier wins, but I think we'll go for that. Yeah, we're winning the rook. He wins my bishop, but we collect his queen side, so I think it's a very reasonable trade for us. Probably dropping another pawn. He has to play knight b8, and keep in mind that he doesn't have the right to castle, so it's pretty busted. This is also coming. We have rook d1, don't we? Could also start a5. So rook d1 takes and then c4. I think that's like precise. Oh, also, yeah, I can just take on a6. Forgot about that. I'm up so many pawns now. Wanted to take the knight, but just take the pawn on a6, obviously, if you can. Now doing this trade and pushing. e4. 1 c3 maybe. I think just knight e1 is simplest. e3 taking f1. Bishop b5, knight e5 maybe. Let's do a5 and if bishop a7. I wanted b5 but forgot he can take. But a5 is useful move regardless. Just king f1. Avoiding e3 tricks potentially. We just don't have to rush with this. I need to rush a bit though, because I have no time. So I think I like rook d5 kind of move. Idea to play this without allowing knight e5. e3 could simply take and then do this. Yeah, but now this is actually pinning. That was the point. And after that trade, it's pretty much game over. Yeah, he wins a lot of pawns, but I think it should be enough. yeah, there you have it, the resignation. Alright, I think that was actually pretty precise game. In particular, that idea when we gave up the exchange, I think that was kind of nice. Gonna be running a game review first. Can go to only like 86. Okay, this was blunder. Bishop d7 is big mistake. Apparently computer finds knight e5 and f6 you have this and now it's crashing. Because yeah, he's losing b7. Yeah, knight e5 was precise there. I agree. But I mean, I played it from like a general perspective. I think this is also really nice. The way we did it. And d5 was mistake and I think bishop b6 is just fine. And okay, I mean, any human I think would play bishop d8 here. Trying to get rid of that, but yeah, rook d7 is first line and just completely winning now. Yeah. Okay, king f1 still top 3 moves and rook d5 was best, which I'm like happy about because I spent a lot of time on it. And yeah, I went for b5. Maybe it's not the most precise, like he could have gone for this endgame, but I think should be lost after either rook d4 or rook d7. Those are the two moves I had in mind. Should be an easy win. But okay, what he did was even easier for us. Getting the white pieces, facing almost a 2500 opponent, so getting into some higher elos. Okay, opponent plays it this way. Can't really get in like a Jabava, but I guess I'll just try to play what I'm recommending in my chessable course. Going for knight e2, pretty important, and I just feel like white is kind of crashing here. Like an important line is after knight f6. He could go e5, but even castle c5, d5. Sacrificing the pawn, that is actually one of my favorites. Plays knight e7, I'm not like very familiar with this. I guess we just play e3 and get the bishop, we're just much better. Yeah, two bishops for free, d5, e5, f5, interesting. d5 feels like a crashing move. I'll just play it, because like if he takes I have bishop takes, and this is big threat with bishop c4. Yeah, taking there, this is still a threat. Also maybe some Greek gifts, we don't have enough pieces though, so sticking with this one is also crashing. Could take, but then queen e7 seems fine. Could just do maybe queen there. He wants g6 though, so not so simple. Probably just developing, and it's kind of resignable, isn't it? Like this is huge threat. Yeah, okay, that's how you win against 2500, I guess. Taking free piece. Just bishop back. Queen e rook e1. Okay, opponent still not giving up. Do we have like a cool way to finish this? Guess we'll go for the simplest. That's takes, and we just play queen d4, centralizing, bringing rook over. Queen g5, going for the cheapo. Okay, I mean free piece, but that's because he was just getting destroyed from the opening. But okay, that's the price you have to pay for playing Owen defense sometimes. How do we play this? Like it's very weird because it's hard to concentrate from such winning positions. I guess we'll just sidestep. I don't know. Okay, bring rook. Rook f5. Could consider queen g4, but then maybe he'll keep queens with queen f6. But then maybe bishop e4, and that's kind of it. Like rook f4, queen g6, it's forcing them off. Yeah. Maybe rook g5, yeah, yes, but now queen f3. I gifted b2 pawn, what am I doing? I'm giving away 3 pawns. Okay, this is kind of problematic though for opponent. Thinking about that move. I think we'll play it. He has rook e5, but then could even do f4. Yeah, I believe that is gonna be the checkmate. Yeah, okay. That's nice. Getting to 2400 feels good. Okay, maybe it's even that way. So they go knight f6, we play knight e2, and then they go c5, and now it's the pawn sack. Yeah, this is really nice. You sack the pawn. Okay, it's important to castle, and then yeah, it's this line. I never really remember it. And here is just like crashing. Like they can't do this because of some bishop a6, if I can recall it. Oh, it's actually bishop f4 and then bishop a6. Yeah, I have this in my course. And after pawn takes, they're just like busted, I think, after queen h5 and you sack. After d6, this is like best line, but they are just getting destroyed. Thanks a lot for making it this far into the video, and if you're looking for more content, make sure to check out some of the previous episodes from the same series.